clarify what really made me look at Kelly Kelly in a negative way. It was the fact that Kelly Kelly had a lack of understanding of the wrestling industry, not only in the way of athletic contribution, but she also had a lack of knowledge about the wrestling industry and the history of it. And that really is the one big thing that turned me off about Kelly Kelly. Now, she has a better understanding of the wrestling industry than she did back in 2006, and over the last 6 years she has learned a lot, and I think that she's being reviewed more positively than she was back in 2007. She still has that little critic every once in a while throwing a negative slaw or slur towards her every once in a while, and her knowledge of the wrestling industry has greatly improved over the last several years, and I hope that she's going to continue to prosper from all that. And I definitely do wish her all the best. I was devastated when reading the rumor of Kelly Kelly being given a partial release from the WWE, because she was my favorite one to watch. No matter if I reviewed her in a negative way or a positive way, she was always my favorite one to watch. And with her remaining with the company now, she's going to continue to be my favorite one to watch. For me, if Kelly Kelly were to have left the company permanently, the one diva I probably would have picked up as my favorite, as I have Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson in the past, with Kelly Kelly being their replacement as my favorite diva on the Divas roster right now. If Kelly Kelly were to leave and be given a full release from WWE, for me, the diva the money is on right now is AJ. AJ is definitely the one that WWE are pushing more than any other diva they have on the roster right now. She seems to be enjoying her role as the Raw General Manager, and I believe that she's one of the most unpredictable divas in the Divas division right now, and in the entire WWE in the way of a character, not just a diva. She's definitely one of the most unpredictable talents they have right now. Kelly Kelly is far from unpredictable. We seem to know what Kelly Kelly is going to do from week to week. It seems like Kelly Kelly is just there wrestling in feuds and programs that make absolutely no sense. But for me right now, the one where the money is right now is AJ, because of the unpredictability factor really tying in significantly well with AJ and the direction of her character. And I'm really loving what they're doing with talents like AJ and all the other divas who are in line for potential pushes as either top contenders or Divas champions. And right now, I think the position Kelly Kelly is in right now is a better position she was in than she was in 6 months ago. Because now she is being considered as a top contender for the Divas Championship, and this will lead, this feud with Eve, if it continues, will lead to her being a potential contender for the Divas Championship against Layla, who would be a formidable opponent, because you have 12 years of experience between the two of them. They both made their WWE debuts in 2006. Kelly Kelly a part of ECW and OVW, and Layla coming in from the 2006 Diva Search, which was a big thing for WWE, especially back in the mid-2000s. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun when it eventually comes into fruition, and I do see a prosperable future ahead for Kelly Kelly, not in the way of a release or reality television like rumors are speculating on the internet, but in the way of a successful second run, possibly, as the Divas Champion. Do I think it's a possibility we could see Kelly Kelly have a second run as the Divas Champion? Yes, because she didn't really feud with a host of divas. It seemed like 2 or 3 divas were involved in programs over her in the Divas Championship. You had the Bella Twins for the first couple of weeks when Kelly Kelly was in the first few weeks of her Divas Championship run. She defended the Divas title against Brie Bella, the former champion, at the 2011 Money in the Bank pay-per-view. From there, she goes on to have a 3 to 4 month long program with Beth Phoenix of the Divas Championship, which resulted in her relinquishing the championship to Beth, which was the better wrestler in that feud. But Kelly Kelly did show a lot of unbelievable charisma in the match, which I do give her a lot of credit for. Not only in one match, but several matches herself and Beth had on pay-per-view. And the key thing was the matches were that great. They were on pay-per-views like Money in the Bank and SummerSlam from just this last year. So, with the lack of talent that Kelly Kelly worked with as the Divas Champion, I would love to see her in a second reign as the Divas Champion, but against a whole host of different individuals that she hasn't feuded with over the Divas Championship especially. So I do see a prosperable future for Kelly Kelly ahead in the way of the Divas Championship run. We have a lot of stuff going on with the radio show over the next couple of weeks. We have detail on a benefit that the Wacko Radio Network, the Wacko Bob Radio Network, are doing for Kamala. If you have anything to donate to the Wacko Bob Radio Network, I urge you to go to blogtalkradio.com/The Dark Match for additional information on how you can donate and contribute to the benefit that we are doing for Kamala, who is a good friend of not just me, but a lot of radio shows, columnists, and wrestlers, both on the independent circuit and on the professional scene. Kamala's had a bit of financial trouble, having a bit of difficulty putting himself back together, and this kind of thing happens from time to time, and every once in a while we have to kind of band together and assist in a way that we can only assist and do our best with doing. But we need your help. If you have anything that you would like to donate, you can go to blogtalkradio.com/The Dark Match. That was the original name of the show. They have now changed their format consistently to the Wacko Weekly. They have a number of shows on what is being called the Wacko Bob Radio Network. I've worked with these guys for a number of years, and they are looking for your help in the way of donations. If you have anything to donate, or any wrestlers out there listening to the show, either on YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook, would love to donate anything in the way of merchandise or personal items, you can go to blogtalkradio.com/The Dark Match for additional information, and you can contact the producers of the Wacko Bob Radio Network, which include talents like Wacko Bob and Fast Eddie. He does his own morning show along with Wacko Bob. The format of the show has changed. Both shows, I believe, are done in the morning, and they are done in the form of a radio network. They have a tremendous history behind them and a lot of archives, and if you want additional information on the show, you can go to the Wacko Bob Radio Network's website, and he has a personal email address along with additional information thrown up there as well. And I do wish both Kamala and Kelly Kelly all the best in their future endeavors. Kelly Kelly in the way of a prosperous wrestling career, and Kamala in the way of some form of stability with his financial difficulties and situations that he's found himself caught up in. And it's very unfortunate that a fantastic individual like Kamala has to go through and be faced with all these unfortunate circumstances. So we do wish him all the best in recuperation and putting himself back together. blogtalkradio.com/The Wacko Weekly or The Dark Match, whatever URL works for you, for additional information. And as I said here earlier, we are going to be throwing together a radio advertisement to air over the next couple of weeks to promote this benefit we're doing for Kamala. I've known him for years. As I said here earlier, I had the chance to interview Kamala Jr., which was a spin-off character done by an independent wrestler as a tribute to Kamala and all his contributions to the wrestling industry. One of my favorite Kamala matches was with The Undertaker at the '92 SummerSlam. It was a casket match. It was a great program. It was fun watching what Mark Calloway, as The Undertaker character, did for the character of Kamala. And he's always a character that isn't given enough acknowledgement in the way of video packages or highlights from years gone by. But he was always referred to as a legend, and especially in a time when wrestlers were looked at as a superhero, Kamala definitely was one of those indestructible forces that didn't seem breakable. But we all have a breaking point, and sooner or later we reach it. And it's just unfortunate this kind of thing had to happen for Kamala. So for additional information, head to blogtalkradio.com/The Dark Match or blogtalkradio.com/The Wacko Weekly, whatever URL works for you. And as I said, we're going to spin some commercials for that benefit over the next couple of weeks, so make sure you listen for that. And I hope you got all that information down. In addition to that, I recently did a written interview with the producer of JP Championship Belts, a independently owned championship belt making company. We're going to be throwing that written interview up as part of In This Corner with Jonathan Clarke over the next couple of weeks. I asked him about 10 questions and to go into a little bit of detail as to what the consistency of the interview is and details. It's just an interview that takes a look at the creation and the history of JP Championship Belts. It was a privilege of mine sitting down to conduct this written interview, and a lot of information and interesting facts are thrown your way with the owner of JP Championship Belts. So look for that as a column archive for In This Corner with Jonathan Clarke. I do thank JP Championship Belts for taking the time to sit down with this website and this radio network to conduct that interview, and a lot of fun facts and interesting things are discussed within that interview. So look for that archive. I guess that does it. With that additional information being thrown your way about the Kamala benefit and the JP Championship Belts interview. We have a lot of stuff to discuss over the next couple of weeks. Next week here on the show, we're going to be taking a look at Shake It Up Made in Japan. It was a recent Disney Channel special, which was an hour long, featuring the stars of the original series Shake It Up. It's been on air for a number of months, and they've been doing consistently well. We're going to be taking a look at the format of the show, what I liked about the show, what I didn't like about the show, how it was put together, what contributions were made in the way of Kat Deely making an appearance on the show. So I think it's fun what Disney Channel are doing. We're going to be taking a look at that. We're also going to be taking a look at Terrence Renell's involvement with TNA Wrestling, and The Undertaker and Kane potentially having a match at WrestleMania 29 next year. with everything happening between the Brothers of Destruction on Raw 1000, that really indicates to me, the biggest indication we've gotten over the last couple of months, that Kane and The Undertaker will have another WrestleMania match that could signify the end of The Undertaker's run in WWE and the streak of The Undertaker with the release of The Undertaker Streak Blu-ray. That's really an indication that WrestleMania 29 could signify the end of over 20 years of a history behind that streak. So we're going to be taking a look at The Undertaker vs. Kane potentially happening at WrestleMania 29 along with The Rock and John Cena Part 2. A lot of stuff could be happening at WrestleMania 29. We'll take a look at the Undertaker-Kane match especially over the next couple of weeks, along with a number of other topics we're going to be talking about on the show. So if you want to weigh in on any of the topics we're going to be throwing your way over the next couple of weeks, we invite you to join the conversation on our Facebook page, facebook.com/EGW Entertainment. Follow our show on Twitter, twitter.com/JonathanClarke1, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel, head to youtube.com/JonathanClarke22. A lot of stuff happening, so let us know what's on your mind in the way of an opinion. And next week we'll talk about Shake It Up Made in Japan. A lot of key things about the show, some things I liked, some things I didn't like. We'll talk about it all next week. You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/JonathanClarke1, and I will throw this review up of Kelly's recent return to the Monday Night Raw brand. That's the brand she's featured on the Raw Super Shows, now 3 hours in length, 8 p.m. Eastern on USA Network. You can also see video archives of Raw on usanetwork.com.